Thinking about leaving your soul-sucking 9-to-5 job? One of the biggest struggles I see people, especially as women, face is the idea of having that safety net, that enticing perks and benefits, and listening to that head trash of what will people think if I leave. I totally get it, and I've been where you are. That's why I created a free guide to help you if you're thinking about putting in that notice. It's called Unlocking Your Exit Plan. Discover 5 things you need to do before leaving your 9-to-5. This guide is filled with worksheets and steps, so you will have hand-holding along the way. You can download your copy in the link in the show notes, and again, it's totally free. Now back to today's episode. Hey there, let's face it. Today's internet world is so saturated and everyone is fighting for that number one spot to be visible. It is no longer about running ads and having thousands of people on your email list. It is about building relationships and networking with others to grow your business and become visible. Hi, my name is Candace. I'm a podcast launch strategist and I help service-based business owners develop and deliver their message to the world by using platforms like podcasting and bringing valuable content to those who need to hear what they have to say. Welcome to the Hello C.S. Dorsey podcast. Welcome back to another episode of the Hello C.S. Dorsey podcast. I have Regina here on the podcast today. How are you doing today, Regina?
I'm terrific. Thanks, Candace. And I'm thrilled to be here.
Awesome. We're so happy to have you on. So could you tell everyone who you are and what you do?
Right. My name is Regina Peterburgsky. I am a solo parent to an 11 going on 17-year-old. I live in Australia. And what I do is I sell stuff on Amazon. And I help other people make money through using Amazon as a platform to create either a side hustle or a full-on business. That's what I do.
Awesome. I cannot wait to dive into it a little bit more. So let's talk about the inspiration behind starting your business. What was that like for you?
Well, I come from a business background. And sort of like in the mid-2010, so around sort of 2014, 2015, I was working in my retail store. I had, in fact, 2 clothing stores here in Melbourne and also a single parent. And my child was getting to the stage where she was not wanting to A, come into the shop anymore, to work with me on weekends, and B, did not want to go to after-school care and school holiday clubs. And she was really sort of pushing for my time. And I don't know if you know, or your listeners may know, that when you have a retail bricks and mortar store, you're in there 6 and 7 days a week, even if you have staff, which of course I did. And so I was looking for opportunities to be able to spend more time with my daughter and yet still support us financially. And so, I came across a training program that said, make money on Amazon. You never have to see your product. It's really easy. And so I checked it out and, bit the bullet and off I went.
That's
so
good.
I started it as a side hustle, and it took me 12 months before I actually exited out of my retail business. And I've been selling exclusively using Amazon as my platform for coming on to 5 years now.
Oh, that's amazing. That's really good.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a hello moment. When was your hello moment when you were starting out or while you were in the trenches of, starting your business and creating and going through the process?
When did I know?
Yeah.
Look, so I started a training program in, I think, March 2015. I launched my first private labels brand. So private label is, it's my own branding. So it's not anybody else's, it's my own. So I actually created a brand from scratch. And I launched that on Amazon US in August 2015. And then on Black Friday, which is like late November in 2015, so a few months after I first started, I never forget, I sold 200 units of my product on that one day. And I was literally on the phone to my friends crying, saying, I think this is going to work, because those 200 units meant about $2,000 in profit in my pocket. And I was like, oh my God, this is just going to be amazing and it's going to work. And that was my hello moment. And it turned out that holiday selling period, that first December, I actually sold more than $160,000 worth of product. And There was no stopping me then. I was like, oh my goodness, this is where I'm going to make my money. This is how I'm going to support my family. But it was really that first 200 sales in a day that really was my hello.
That's wonderful. Like, I love that you tried it. You went for it. It worked, and you went full all in. I love it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love it so much. So let's talk about how Amazon's traffic can be leveraged by anyone to create a side hustle or new business. Can you elaborate on that a little bit more?
Sure.
All right.
Look, when I first started, I came from a business background. And so, I already understood things like marketing and branding and sourcing products. So for me, Amazon was simply a way to sell products. So a lot of the stuff that in private label, I already knew. So for me, that was easy. For a lot of other people who get into private label selling on Amazon, they have to learn a lot of things from scratch. And, these days more than ever, it does require a financial investment, which can be quite significant. I think these days you really want to have at least $10,000 to $20,000 up your sleeve to launch a private label brand. And for a lot of people, that's not in their wheelhouse. So for the last 12 months, I've actually been researching other ways. So I've now found to date about 7 different ways that irrespective of your experience or financial background, you can actually start making money. So do you want me to go through them?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. So number 1, the easiest is called Amazon Associates. So this is where you might have a blog or a website that's of interest to you, and Amazon will pay you to drive traffic to their products. So it's a very small percentage, but if let's say you have a blog all about podcasting and you want to recommend different podcasting microphones or tools that people might use that are available on Amazon. If you have an Amazon Associate account, you can actually have your links go through. So if somebody purchases a mic through your link, you actually get paid by Amazon because you've introduced that customer to Amazon. So that's an associate. And part of that, one of the things that people are now doing is there's an influencer program where you can actually go live on Amazon and showcase products that you like or that you've done deals with brands, and you can show them off and you can use your associates account. So Amazon will pay you. Plus, you can also ask the brand to pay you a fee for showcasing their product. So that's an easy way, which doesn't require any investment. It obviously requires your time. The return you're going to get on that is not huge because Amazon keeps lowering that Amazon Associates fee. However, if you already have a blog or a website that's getting a lot of traffic, it's a great way to make some money. Okay, so the next one, number 2, is books. It's these days it's so easy to print and publish and upload. So there's with Kindle Direct Publishing, you don't actually have to pay to have anything printed. So they can do print on demand, or you can do just downloads. So Amazon makes that really, really simple for you. You control your book. You can control how much you charge for your book. You can give it away for free as a lead magnet to something else, or you can actually make money on it. And I know one of your previous guests actually talked a lot about that. So that's an awesome way to make money. Again, you don't have to invest anything financially. It's your mental capital and your time to create that. And number 3, and this is a new one that I've really recently learned about, is handmade. So this is sort of Amazon's way to jump into the Etsy space. So if you are a creator and you're making stuff in your garage or at your kitchen table that you would normally sell on Etsy, you can now also have access to the Amazon Handmade platform where you can sell your products on Amazon because they're very keen to compete with Etsy on that. Next is if you're a creative person. So if you are great at design or artwork or have creativity with slogans, Amazon has a platform called Merch by Amazon, where you can put your designs onto coffee mugs, T-shirts, hoodies, all sorts of merchandise. And there's actually 2 different ways you can do this. You can use Amazon's own merch platform, or you can use a third-party platform, for example, Gearbubble, Teespring. There's a few of them out there. And you can create your products on those platforms and then list them on Amazon. Okay, so what this means is you don't have to invest your money in the products. You are investing, obviously, your time in creating the listings, but then when the product sells, Amazon pays you. And so if you're using the merch platform, the Amazon pays you a percentage of, as a commission. And if you're using a third-party platform, like, as I said, like Gearbubble, then Amazon pays you. You then pay the third-party platform. They manufacture the product on demand. So this is a print-on-demand product. And then they ship it on your behalf to your Amazon customers. Make sense? So again, so that's a really great, if you've got a lot of time and some creativity, you can make some serious money on just doing, mug designs, Happy Mother's Day type designs on mugs and have a third party print it for you. So again, it's not easy. Like, none of this stuff is easy. This particular business model really works well if you have lots and lots and lots of different designs. So if you can churn out 2 or 3 designs a day, have them loaded up and just build up a bank of lots and lots of designs, you'll find 1 or 2 winners out of a couple of hundred. And sometimes those winners can make you lots of money. Okay, so that was number 4. Number 5 is arbitrage. So arbitrage basically means buying on one platform for less money and selling on another platform for more money, the same product. So there's different ways. So you can do what's called retail arbitrage. So that's where you're going to retail stores like a Target or a Walmart or a Hobby Lobby, or, pretty much any retail store where you can find inventory which is actually selling for more money on Amazon. So you would buy it yourself and then you would list the product that you've got on Amazon or jump on an existing listing. And then you can make a profit on the difference in the price. So that's called retail arbitrage. The sister to that is wholesale arbitrage. So is online arbitrage. That's where you're not physically going into retail stores, but you're actually doing it online, finding online stores. And then there's a side of that is called replan. That's where you're actually finding products that are available in certain stores that perhaps people in other parts of the country are not able to purchase. So there might be a particular product that in a retail store called is $5, but it's only available in a particular retail store that, people on Amazon are wanting to buy, and they're happy to pay $15 for it on Amazon to have it shipped to their house. So that's another way. So this particular way, this is, again, quite time intensive. The margins on it are not huge, but it's a great way to get started if you don't have a lot of money and time, and like shopping. If you like to spend time shopping and finding bargains, then that may be a way for you to get started on Amazon. Okay, so that's 5. Number 6, and now we're getting into more serious business. So wholesale. So wholesale is a business model where you're actually purchasing in bulk. Now, bulk may mean just 10 units of a particular item or 50 units of a particular item from a brand or a distributor. Okay, so you're actually buying it at a discount, so not at a retail store, but from a distributor or a brand, and you're purchasing that in wholesale, and then you're listing that product on Amazon, or in a lot of cases, that product is already listed on Amazon, and you become one of the sellers on that. Now, your margins there are not too bad, and you can build a serious business doing this business model. It does require a little bit more cash up front than the other business models that I've discussed. You're probably wanting, $500 to $1,000 initially to start. And depending on how fast that inventory sells, you may need a little bit more to keep it going. But it's not a, tens of thousands of dollars outlay. And it's a business that you can build up over time. And I know people that are making tens of millions of dollars in profit using this particular business model that they've built up over time. So that's wholesale. And then the what we call the PhD of Amazon selling is what I do, which is private label. Now, private label is when you actually find a product that's already doing well on Amazon, find a way to differentiate it, make it a little bit better, improve it in some way, find a manufacturer for that product, whether that's in the US or offshore, and build a brand, create a brand. This is the same as you would in any other way. So create a brand, you've got to design your packaging, you have it shipped into Amazon FBA, fulfilled by Amazon, and then, take advantage of the buyer traffic that's on Amazon to sell your stuff. So that's a very sort of brief outline of all the different ways. So depending on where somebody is in their entrepreneurial journey, at least one of those business models would be a terrific way to start. My personal recommendation is if somebody has had some business experience and has a little bit of cash up their sleeve, that they jump straight into either wholesale or private label. Those are sort of like ones that are going to give you the best bang for your buck. In terms of long-term business growth, really private label is the best way. At the moment, there are a lot of companies that are actually buying private label brands. I have friends who started a brand less than 2 years ago that are selling it now for over $1 million because they've been able to build up a unique product that's selling well on Amazon, that's making them money. And so there are now what's called these aggregators that they've basically investors have got money to spend on brands that are doing well on Amazon. So that's really, in terms of building a long-term business, that's really where you want to end up. Even if you start doing one of the other business models, private label is pretty much where you want to end up in terms of a full-on business.
Hey there, C.S. Dorsey here. We thrive on awesome feedback from our listeners because you make the show. Now, I would like to ask you to take a moment to comment, share, give a rating, or share your hello moment. Once you've done that, take a snapshot of the review and tag me on Instagram at csdorsey_hello. I cannot wait to hear from you. Oh my goodness, that was amazing. I wrote everything down. So, I'm a really good student and I like to recap on what I've learned. Okay, so we have, number one, we have Amazon Associates. Number two, we have books, so like the KDP, the Kindle Direct Publishing. Number three, we have handmade. Number four, we have merch. Number five, we have arbitrage. Did I say that
arbitrage, right? Yes.
Arbitrage. Okay. All right. And number six, we have wholesale. And then number seven, we have private label.
Correct. Yay!
I love it so much.
I know I rattled them off pretty fast. And each of them is a full-on, business model that can get, reasonably complicated. And like overall, they're all simple, but not easy. There's no such thing as a get-rich-quick scheme, right?
Right.
However, everybody has their own sort of areas that are of interest to them. So if somebody is really like for example, the merch, my 10-year-old daughter last year when we were in lockdown, she's a bit of an artist and she was sort of creating art on her iPad. And I said, well, why don't we just get you started on merch and print on demand? So she put her designs onto some pop sockets and hoodies and mugs. And she made a couple of $100 in a few months. Like, it's not a lot, but it was more than I was paying her pocket money.
Yes. That's like being rich at her age. Like, seriously, that's way more than an allowance of $5, $10 every week.
Oh, she doesn't get anything from me.
That's good. That's good.
I was like, you want it, you earn it.
That's right. But that's awesome, though. That's a really good way of earning some sort of, what do they call a passive income? And yeah,
absolutely. And the thing is with that, once you create the design once and you can put it on 50 different types of products and then they just sit there. So, you're initially investing some time and energy and creativity, but once it's done, right?
Right. And even just as small as you'd be surprised, like the smallest design, I know everybody likes the smiley face and everybody probably is doing smiley faces, but if you do a smiley face in a different way, the simplest thing can sell,
Absolutely.
So I love it. Oh my goodness. I need to hang out with her. Oh my goodness. I love this so much. Now I knew about the Amazon Associates and the KDP because I actually published my book, my novel, and a couple other books, like when it started getting big in 2011. They're still sitting there, but I knew about those two. I stumbled upon Handmade and I was like, this is interesting, but no one really talks about it. Etsy is the thing.
Reasonably new. It's reasonably new and it's hard for people to scale, by scale, I mean like get bigger and make more money. So it's a great way to start. But in terms of scaling, because Amazon has certain rules, like you can't sort of have a handmade product that you then have a factory making it, right? It actually, you have to to verify with Amazon how much of the stuff is actually made by you and where it is. And so it is one that is sort of a little bit more complicated in terms of growing bigger. But again,
Yeah.
it's a terrific way. If somebody's already making stuff and selling it on Etsy, it's a great way to harness Amazon as another platform.
Yeah, definitely. And I think if I remember this a couple of years back that I was looking at the handmade on Amazon, I think you had to like actually take pictures of your workstation.
Yes,
I
you
was
do.
like, no.
Yeah, no, you do, because Amazon wants to verify, because
Yeah.
they want to make sure that they don't, fiddle, buy something from China and say it's handmade.
Right.
So you
Right.
actually had, they're very careful about that. They want to make sure. So you absolutely have to verify. And then they do check, intermittently as well, that you are still hand making it.
Yeah. That's I guess that's fair enough. That's fair enough. But back then I was like, no. They should have seen my face. Oh, this is awesome. So any last minute advice do you have for our listeners out there?
Look, my real advice is to just do it. If you've been thinking about it, sitting on the sidelines, I know a lot of people do, they get stuck, analysis by paralysis, pick away. Just start. There's plenty of information out there, both free and paid. Start with YouTube, start with Amazon themselves. They have, Amazon University. So there's plenty of ways that you can figure things out to get going. However, if you're really serious, I do recommend that you find somebody who's done it before so you can jump on their coattails so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. And there's, lots of reputable coaches and trainings out there that can help you with each of those different business models. And if you, want to be steered in the right direction, feel free to reach out to me and I can see. I personally don't have my own training course on any of those things, but I know people who do.
Well, we're going to have to change that.
No, I do coaching. I do help people, especially in the private label and wholesale side of things. I do private coaching. However, for foundation courses, I do recommend, several different ones on people that I've personally vetted and I know that are reputable. Because unfortunately, there are a lot of people out there that are less reputable, and you've just got to be very, very careful.
I agree. Yes, I agree with you on that. So where can everyone find you?
Oh, look, I'm very easy to find. My brand is Women on Amazon. So I have a website called Women on Amazon. I have a podcast actually called Women on Amazon. And if people want to reach out to me by email, it's just Regina@womenonamazon.com.
Awesome. Thank you. And we're going to definitely link those up in the show notes so that everybody can click on the link and go directly to you if they need to reach out to you or contact you. But Regina, I'm so happy that you came on the podcast. I think this was a really good, valuable information because it's so nice to hear something else from the norm, So I'm really happy you came on and kind of help our listeners out there on another way that you can actually build a business.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure and a joy to talk to you, Candace.
Thank you.